Welcome to this explainer. Okay, be honest with me. Have you ever looked at a screen full of code and thought, yep, that is literally an alien language? Well, you are in exactly the right place, because today, we're decoding it. We're diving into a highly structured, day-by-day blueprint specifically designed to take you from a total beginner to a confident, capable programmer. We've taken the essential source material and distilled it into a super clear, comprehensive roadmap, and we are going to walk through the whole thing together right now.
30? That is the magic number. We aren't talking about grinding through 4 years of university or spending months wandering aimlessly through scattered tutorials online. We're talking about exactly 30 days of consistent, focused, daily practice. If you can just carve out a small block of time every single day for the next month, this blueprint proves you can completely master the foundational concepts of Python. Honestly, it's all about momentum.
To make this whole journey actually manageable, the syllabus is chunked into 5 phases. Week 1 is the core foundations. Week 2 is logic and flow. Week 3 is data mastery. Week 4 covers advanced tools. And finally, phase 5 is building.
Think about how each of these phases directly builds on the last one. You're not just memorizing random facts. It's like you're constructing a house. Days 1 through 7, you're pouring the concrete. Days 8 through 13, you're putting up the walls with logic. Days 14 through 20 is when you run the wiring for your data. Days 21 through 26, that's when you install all the advanced smart home features. And those final 4 days are when you actually move in and start building real-world applications.
All right, let's jump right into Week 1, the core foundations, covering days 1 through 7.
Day 1 starts off super simple. You're just installing Python and your code editor. VS Code is a great choice, and writing that famous first line of code, Hello World. From there, things move fast. You'll learn how to store information using variables and data types on day 2. By days 3 and 4, you're already grabbing user input and running arithmetic operators. Day 5 is all about type conversion, like magically changing text into numbers. And by days 6 and 7, you are writing conditional statements, those absolutely vital if-else commands. In just 1 week, you literally go from a completely blank screen to building a working even-odd checker or a grade calculator.
Moving right along to Week 2. Logic and flow, which takes us through days 8 to 13.
Days 8 through 12 introduce some seriously critical logic structures. You'll learn for and while loops, which are amazing because they let you repeat actions without having to type them out 100 times. You'll master loop controls, like break and continue, to actually steer that flow. Then you practice with visual star patterns and multiplication tables. But the real game changer? That hits on day 11 with functions. Functions let you bundle up useful chunks of code and reuse them whenever you want. You'll use them to calculate factorials, find prime numbers, even generate Fibonacci sequences. It is incredibly empowering once it clicks.
Day 13 introduces a really crucial comparison: local versus global variables. Basically, once you start writing functions, you have to understand scope. Think of a local variable like a secret kept inside a specific room. Only the people in that room know about it. A global variable, on the other hand, is shouted from the rooftops. The entire program can see it. Getting the hang of this difference is a massive milestone in writing clean, bug-free Python code.
Next up is Week 3, Data Mastery. This covers days 14 through 20. Every single day from 14 to 18 introduces a new, highly optimized container for your data. Day 14 is all about strings, where you learn to slice and format text. Day 15 brings in lists, teaching you how to sort and index collections of items. Day 16 is tuples. Day 17 introduces dictionaries, which are just brilliant for storing data in key-value pairs, literally like a real-world dictionary mapping a word to its definition. And then Day 18 covers sets, where you'll handle unique values and do cool operations like unions and intersections.
Let's actually zoom in on day 16 for a second to compare lists and tuples. You might be wondering why learn both. Well, lists are what we call mutable, meaning you can easily change, add, or remove items after you create them. Tuples, on the flip side, are immutable. Once you create a tuple, it is locked in. It cannot be changed. Knowing exactly when to use a flexible list versus a secure, locked-down tuple is a true hallmark of a maturing programmer.
We wrap up our data week with days 19 and 20. Up until this point, your data just kind of vanishes the second your program closes. Day 19 changes all of that with file handling. You're going to learn to read, write, and append data to actual files right on your hard drive. And day 20, that's exception handling. By using try, except, and finally blocks, you learn how to catch errors gracefully. So if a user types a letter when you ask for a number, your program handles it smoothly instead of violently crashing.
Now we're getting to the good stuff. Week 4, Advanced Tools, covering days 21 through 26.
Okay, please don't let a big term like object-oriented programming intimidate you. You'll tackle this on days 22 and 23. It sounds incredibly complex, I know, but it's really just a way to organize your code to mimic the real world. You use classes as blueprints to create objects. So, things like inheritance and polymorphism, they're simply efficient ways to reuse your code and keep larger projects from turning into a tangled, confusing mess. It's essentially organizational magic for programmers.
And speaking of magic, day 26 is seriously cool. APIs. That stands for Application Programming Interface. What does that mean in plain English? It's how your Python program talks to the rest of the internet. On day 26, you'll make your very first request to pull live external data from the web right into your application. Whether you want live weather updates, real-time stock prices, or movie stats, APIs quite literally open up the entire world to your code.
Your Week 4 toolbox is also going to be packed with modules and libraries. Honestly, why reinvent the wheel when you can just import the math or random modules? You'll utilize built-in libraries like datetime and OS. And crucially, on day 25, you learn all about virtual environments and pip. Pip is Python's package installer, and it lets you easily download amazing code written by other developers and just drop it right into your own projects.
And finally, the phase you've been waiting for. The final stretch, building, days 27 through 30.
The whole point of these last 4 days is action. It's broken down into 3 clear steps. Step 1 is tackling mini projects on days 27 and 28 to really warm up those problem-solving muscles. Step 2 on day 29 is entirely dedicated to practice, revision, and debugging. And step 3 is day 30, the summit, where you build your final capstone project and plot out your future course.
Let's look at those mini projects real quick. On day 27, you are going to build a completely functional password generator in a number-guessing game. On day 28, you level up to a to-do list and a calculator. And listen, these aren't just toys. They're massive confidence builders. They prove to you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you can actually take variables, loops, functions, and data structures and synthesize them into something that works.
Then we hit day 29, practice revision and debugging. Look, let's be real here. You are going to write code that breaks. Your screen will throw red errors at you, and that is perfectly fine. Day 29 teaches you debugging tips and coding best practices. Finding and fixing those inevitable bugs is literally half the fun, and honestly half the job of being a programmer. It's how you train your brain to think logically.
And here we are, day 30. For your grand finale, you're going to build a comprehensive student management system or an expense tracker. This brings together absolutely everything you've learned. But remember, the journey doesn't stop at day 30. The source blueprint beautifully lays out your next steps. You could dive into version control with Git and GitHub. You could pivot into data science using NumPy and Pandas, jump into web development with Flask and Django, or even start exploring machine learning. Python is the master key that unlocks all of those doors.
I want to leave you with this exact quote directly from the source material. Great programmers are made through daily practice. Keep coding and keep learning. You see, the secret to this 30-day blueprint isn't genius. It has nothing to do with a high IQ. It is simply showing up, opening your code editor, and putting in the work, day after day. Consistency is your absolute superpower here.
You now have the complete roadmap in your hands. You know exactly what concepts to tackle and in what order. The mystery is totally gone and the path is clear. So I just have one question for you. Your 30 days starts tomorrow. What are you going to build first?